Hi, my name is Carrie, and I'm going to be totally honest right now that I don't like showing my face on these YouTube videos that I've done in the past. I don't look at myself right. The last time I posted a video, I was getting pretty close to figuring out what had happened with my children and I, and what we went through and how it happened and why nobody will believe me and why nobody is helped and is able to follow through with help. This man in my past that I was with, he has a way of being able to use hypnosis. He can use hypnosis, and he plays the most cruel, evil mind games possible. If you look at some of my videos, my children and I have been through so much, and since I was figuring it out, made that last video, I again went through something again bizarre. He can use hypnosis. Not only it was worse back then when you were with him, but he does have a way to hack into accounts, to use something, to use third way parties through your cell phone that uses the speaker. It's called silent sound spread spectrum. You can't hear it, but I have recorded the voices on my cell phones in the past and on this one. And it's also set up like when you get a phone, those are the mind games for your future, and why I go through so much drama and so many problems is because it's all set up. So, I obviously follow the laws, and I've never been in trouble before. But however, I was on probation, and it was a way of controlling me not to get me off of probation when I had done everything. So the probation officer, this is just an example of what my life is, and how everything has to be such a hassle and so difficult. He's ill and obsessed with hurting me and letting me go to be happy with somebody. So the probation officer, they came up with some saliva test that I had to take, which I called numerous places, and nobody's heard of it. And even the judge, even the attorney, I literally had to go back to court to get off of it, because it's a way to keep control of me. I don't drive. I don't have a car. I have a boyfriend that now has broken up with me and gone, but yet comes back, and he's going through his own little hypnosis right now. And he plays mind games, like when I first left him and realized how weird things were and how his face changed. But when I was with him, even though his appearance was changing, it just didn't click. It was just so weird until afterwards. And then I started to get sick. I thought I was going to be abducted by aliens, and I thought that the FBI was following me, and I even went on an FBI interview. And you believe it. You are hypnotized. You believe this. I mean, it is the most bizarre thing. And if you look in my videos in the past that I've done, when I was trying to figure out how I knew he did something through the phone, but it really, really is like hypnosis. And he's a psychopath that he loves to make people suffer. It's a disease. He's sick. And I do have a camera on my street light, and I this is just something that I felt in my heart that I had to do real quick before I do that video. But I do want to show that video again of the street light that's on my camera, but it's also on all my my past videos as well. I have a case at the Sandy City Police Department that was never investigated because guess what? He knew. He sees, my phone is hacked. He sees, he's a step ahead and he sees anybody and nobody can follow through because they will be confused and they will think something, and they'll believe it. You know, my children and I went through hell. If you look at a video, I have a drawing of what my daughter drew. And if nobody can follow, because you would just, it would just break your heart. A little kid to think of herself like that. That's not the only one. My granddaughter, because she looks like me, now she wants to be a boy. And she's been wanting to be a boy for a while. And my other granddaughter now is going through something where she drew a picture and something's funky with her eyes and she does not, and I will just say this, was it 3 weeks ago? I have never seen anything like this on myself. I have hallucinated the past, since we have gotten these new cell phones, the past, almost year, I went into the bathroom and my eyes, it was the craziest thing. My eyes were like, and see, I'm still hearing voices and I'm still going through something right now. And so it's very confusing, but I am getting better and I am finding out the triggers and I am finding out how to stop the triggers. And now I'm getting better and I'm trying to help out my ex-boyfriend, and which I think is actually not seeing certain people right, because I've looked at my phone. But anyways, let me finish I'm losing track. But so I looked in the mirror and my eyes, one was up here and one was down here. And obviously, I don't like being shown on the camera because I feel that, because I see a lot of hair. And it was like it was so scary to see myself like that. And I looked at a picture, and I think that my boyfriend was having a difficult time, and that's why things went weird with him, because he's off on this own little adventure of his in his mind right now. And he took a picture of mine and put it on the fridge because I know he wasn't seeing me right, and I kept telling him that. I think he thought I was looking weird, but didn't confront me because you can't. It's like it's indescribable. But when I saw that in the mirror, I could not believe, because my daughter said that she said that she was hallucinating in the mirror, and I told her I'm trying to figure out what's going on, and my heart dropped because I thought, if that child saw herself the way I saw myself, and then my son and everybody, that my children were taken away from me for no reason. Their father everybody's in just their own thing. My ex-husband was just a great father. He was very supportive, and then all of a sudden he just started lying to the courts, and we kept going to court every month, and then he just took them and took custody of them, made up a story that I hit him, was filed for it, had a protection order and a restraining order, and then took my children away without me knowing about it. My checks are garnished right now. I don't drive. I don't have a license. And I don't have a steady place to stay. And I've lost all my family. And I just really miss my children. And we've all heard voices. We've all heard voices. He picks and chooses who hears the voices and then who doesn't hear the voices but still gets the silent sound. But I have proof that I have proof because when you call and leave a message, you can hear voices in the background, and I think it just enhances your hypnosis and the game that he's doing. And it's the cruelest thing ever. It is the cruelest thing ever. It is so hard. And not to have any help or anybody believe you what you're going through and to look into it. My case is at the Sandy City Police Department. It was never investigated. It was never investigated. The first detective said, when I brought things in, and and I wanted an investigation, and he said, well, at the end, and I even had my boyfriend that is off on his little adventure right now because he plays games. Like I said, I was trying to get a job at the, I was going to be an FBI agent. Aliens were going to abduct me. The FBI was following me, and he just makes everybody think you're crazy. And, he makes everybody play these games, and my older son that has children, he also hears voices, and there's triggers. So like if you see certain things and you don't even know that your eyes pick it up, but it triggers you to do something. And the most interesting thing is that you can pull those triggers out by looking online about, I'm looking better to myself now because I've pulled out some triggers. Movies are a big one. Movies and, for instance, Aristocats was a big one. The Truman Show was a big one. Things that I used to say, the mannerism I used to have, the personality I used to have, if I, remembering those things that I said will pull out something. And now I'm starting to get better and feel less and less like I'm hearing. And it's not like voices, it's him. It's them like screaming at me. And when I say them, I think there's some men involved in this. And I think that it's a group of men that help out other men that get into situations that involve children, and they get away with it because that's what happened to my family and I. If you watch my other videos, we were being date rape, drugged, and he was injecting me. The police officer that I was with was injecting me with a needle, and I woke up one morning to him doing that. And then there's a lot of information that I really want to go into further, and if you look at my other videos, I have my mind is kind of struggling right now. But I don't know what to do. I really need Dr. Phil's help. I want Dr. Phil's help because I know that Dr. Phil has the resources to help us. He has the best of the best people, and he's knowledgeable, and he'll look into everything, and he's very thorough. And so I've been trying to get Dr. Phil's help for a very, very long time. My son at school was held up. This is another thing. This is what it is. It gets to my brain that nobody can like follow through my child was in elementary, and teenage boys held him up with a gun. He went into the prince. I was actually out of town, and I came back, and his father had told me this, and I had called the school to find out what happened. And I said, well, were the cops involved? Because obviously if there's weapons at a school, especially with teenage kids, that's kind of concerning, especially when my child was held up and threatened by one. And these are mechanisms that they use to control fear. And so they never called the cops for an investigation. They never called the cops for an investigation. It was never done. My daughter was hearing voices. She was cutting herself. We were all suicidal. My older son hears voices. My granddaughter now wants to be a boy. And I kind of think the trigger is, and I'm gonna go and I've been texting my family, and the more and more and more I figure out how to pull these triggers out, and how to pull these triggers out is I've been texting them, and it seems like everybody's responding and doing a lot better and coming around. Please just watch my other videos, and I do want to make another video when I'm thinking more clearly, but right now I just kind of feel like I wanted to. A big one right now that I'm going through is that I do have evidence. I have a lot of evidence. I have a computer that he wants, and I have an old cell phone of my boyfriend's, and the abuse that he wanted me to go through that I grabbed. I took, because it was programmed also in his truck it's hard to explain, but I took it out, so we had to go a different route. And so it's your cell phone, and what he's programmed in your cell phone is what you're going to go through for that. I know this sounds crazy, you guys. I really do. I know. But he uses hypnosis through third-party voice apps in your computer. And children are involved here. Look at my other, watch my other videos, and I would love for these videos and this, and then look on the information, because I have the information. I have the information with the videos, and watch the videos, and please read the descriptions, and please forward them to the Dr.Phils show. And I'm really hoping, because like I said, I haven't seen my children for my oldest one I have, but my baby and my daughter, what was it? It's been 5 years. It's been 5 years. And I would really love to see them. And I would really I want to live again, and I want my children to live again. And I hope that they're not struggling. And I just want us to be free and to be able to live and get this man busted and caught with evidence that I have, and have saved, and I just really need your help. And I'm so sorry, I'm so scatterbrained right now. I'm really trying to concentrate and stuff, and it's really difficult, but I'm just praying that somebody's out there that knows something about hypnosis and how to hack into third parties. And this is another thing, why I just thought of that. Okay, I was looking at my photo albums, okay, and some of them like my face is really odd in some of them. And my pictures on my cell phone, I thought he like was hacking into it, and I still do think that. I do think that. I think he was hacking into them and changing certain features, and one eye's green, one eye's blue, and I think it's just a way to make you. Oh, I feel like I just had a little relief go on in my head. But anyways, when I was green, when I was green, and when I was blue. Green when I was green and when I was blue. And then there's one, my nose is weird. There's some where my teeth are all weird. And just a lot of, it's insane. And then the one that I told you that my boyfriend, and that's why I think he was thinking something was going on with my face too, because he had taken a picture, and I looked at the picture and my nose looked like this. It was like, it was like the weirdest, it was weird. And like I said, I looked in the mirror and my eyes were like that. And every single freaking picture that I ever take, something is wrong with it. I went to my granddaughter's first day of school and my other granddaughter's first day of third grade. And Sarah, my future daughter-in-law, sent me a picture. And I looked like I was 30 pounds heavier and really, really pale and really, really blonde. Like my eyebrows were all blonde, and it's a way to make you feel your self-esteem down. And I'm a very confident woman, a very strong woman, a very smart woman, and I'm very brave woman for what I've gone through and what I've saved because this needs to end. He can't. This needs to end. And I know other children are involved, and other men and other families. So, okay, if you could just forward this and watch my other videos and read their descriptions, the descriptions with the videos, and please send it to somebody that knows something about hypnosis or Dr.Phils, that would be great. That way it could be publicized, put out, you know what I mean. So people would be aware of it and of what could happen. But I think this man is definitely, in my opinion, he's a serial killer. He's a hypnosis serial killer. Evil, mind games. He lives for them. He loves to watch somebody be tortured. In fact, his first wife thought cameras were in her mirror. And I still have a problem, even though I don't think it's logical, I still have a problem with my mirror being shut, my bathroom mirror. So I go through the same things as well. And then his second wife, when we were texting and stuff, and I said, well, how do you think he knows about everything? Because when you're alone, he'll like tell you what you're doing, and I'm like, how do you think he does that? And she said, well, it's normal to have spies in your relationship. And I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, okay, well, at least I told her, at least she knows. And my cousin was right there. And my cousin's the one that actually heard the first voice on a recording. I had called her and she's like, was anybody with you? Because I hear this. And it was actually a game I was going through of ghosts and demons and stuff like that. And there's voices in the background saying, Carrie, help us. It was, and then I started to hear more and more and more. And then the game that you're playing, you can hear those in the background of your phone and recordings. And my son, why I'm on, there's so much that I could tell you. My son, my baby, was hallucinating that the posters were coming out of his alive in his room. He was seeing demons. We've gone through so much. But if my daughter saw herself in the mirror, she's so beautiful. She's so beautiful. And if she saw herself in the mirror like the way I did, because I've hallucinated in the mirror before. You know, you hallucinate certain features and whatnot and see people for, you know, you hallucinate. I do think I am harder to get under like that because I do have attention deficit disorder, and so does my son, but my daughter doesn't, and neither does my oldest son. So we've been through a lot. If you could just please help, okay? Thank you for your time. Remember case at the Utah Sandy City Police State. Please remember that I have a case at the Utah City Sandy Police Department, and my name is Carrie Ann Riley, okay? Thank you for your help and your time. I really appreciate it. Okay, bye.